Welcome to Mystic Musings with Tobie Hewitt. I'm Tobie Hewitt, and I'm your guide through time and space and all points in between. Mystic Musings will give you insight into who you are, why you are here, how to live an authentic life, and where you fit into the universe around you. Join me on this path of mystical exploration. Welcome to episode 21 of Mystic Musings with Tobie Hewitt. This week, we will look at intuition as we continue our mystic journey. What is intuition? It's a feeling that springs from the core of your being. It is a feeling that nudges at the edges of your consciousness, but it does not originate in consciousness. It comes in towards you from outside, and again, tries to communicate information with you, and it is a nanosecond of knowing. It's being able to perceive knowledge without conscious thought. It starts with a feeling and it grows into an awareness of what we should do or what we should say or what's going to happen in the next moment. It is a feeling more than a thought. It is an instinct about something, some event, or someone. Albert Einstein said, and this is really important, the intuitive mind is a sacred gift. And the rational mind, the rational mind, is a faithful servant. We have created a society that honors the servant and has forgotten the gift. And I look at that and I think, well, that encapsulates a lot of our lives right now. We're really working totally from a rational mind point of view. And we don't really think about our intuition being something that can help us to survive and thrive through this period of time and know that we are going to be okay and know that everything is going to turn out just the way that the universe planned it. So we do not put as much emphasis and credibility on our intuition, our intuitive mind, as we do our rational mind. How does it serve us in our everyday lives? Well, we end up discerning situations, feelings of good or bad vibrations that are around us and reaching into us. We get an inkling as to, maybe we should buy a lottery ticket and we win a little bit of money. Or we turn right and left at an intersection or on a path through a park or whatever, and we find something delightful or important on this new path, something that informs us, something that adds something to us that we would not have seen before or done before if we hadn't given in to our intuition to make that change in our path. For example, if you're driving, let's say you're driving across your state or even across your city, and you suddenly think, I should take a left here instead of a right. And where does this go? And how? And you find, a delightful restaurant or a delightful park or something absolutely wonderful. On the other hand, the same intuition can also be a prickly feeling, discomforting feeling of danger, and that informs us that we really shouldn't be where we are and that we should move to a safer space. And this, even for example, if there's a storm, let's say that there's a storm and there's winds and crashing of thunder and lightning and whatever, and suddenly you've been sitting on the couch watching television and you suddenly feel compelled to move off of the couch and move into another room. And then a tree falls on your house and into the couch that you were just sitting at. Now that is intuition. That's a feeling that something is about to happen. It's the universe telling you, get up, get going. And that's intuition. That is one of the strongest feelings that people get and that they pay attention to, actually. It's a little harder to go, well, I should turn right or left or whatever. But when you suddenly feel that feeling of, oh no, then you know that you have to move. And a lot of people talk about that. If I hadn't moved at that moment, oh my goodness, what would have happened? So you can have positive or negative intuition. That not the intuition is always positive, but the vibration that's trying to inform you gives you the idea of positivity or negativity. These are informed hunches. You feel, sometimes I sit and I watch the lottery draws on television, and I pick the numbers, and I sit there and I think, gosh, afterwards I think, gosh, I really, really wish I had played that number. Although I don't understand the lottery at all, and I wouldn't know what I was winning or anything. But to be able to do that, well, I think the next number is a 7, and it's a 7. And so that's just that's sort of a playing around with your intuition, but it is an interesting way of practicing intuition. It is instinct more than knowing. It's not that you know something, because then you're getting into some of the other psychic abilities, and you sort of know, like precognition, that you know something is about to happen, but it's a hunch that something is about to happen. It's an instinct. It's that part of us that survives beyond the rational mind and allows us, from our basic being, to ascertain the universe around us. It is an inexplicable. I take some notes here, and I love when they give me these notes, when Spirit gives me these notes, because I know I have to hit all these points. It is inexplicable knowing. Now, how do we know these things? We know them because we're part of this large, again, interdependent web. There's information streaming through it, just as there is through the internet, and it's always available to us. And sometimes the information reaches out toward us. We're not reaching out trying to grab information. We're not looking at a website. Something is coming toward us to let us know that to give us information. One of the interesting things that I think about sometimes is the intuition that you have when you see your true love for the first time. And that love at first sight actually is more of an intuition than anything else. It's not suddenly, there is a physical reaction to seeing this person, but it's an intuition of, this person is so important to me. And knowing that you had set up with the universe to meet this person at this time. And so it is knowing without rational thought. You can't suddenly think, oh, I'm going to meet the person that I'm falling in love with in the next second or whatever. It's just that knowing moment. Knowing. Intuition is a knowing. Can we increase our awareness? Can we fine tune it? Well, the more that you learn about the universe, the more that you learn about the universe right around you, the more intuitive you'll become. The more you read, the more you pay attention to things, the more you open up your vibration to other vibrations, the more varied experiences you have. The more you are aware of extra informative energy. I'll say that again, extra informative energy that's flowing around you and through you. And so going out and having new experiences and learning more about, for example, even learning about the names of trees and the names of flowers and the names of different birds gives you more information about the universe, and then the universe is able to inform you about give you more information that you might need. So that learning and giving yourself that thought, that information, will help increase intuition. So what are we going to start with an exercise this week? What are we going to do? Because you can't just sit around and just wait. So start just paying attention to your hunches. Start knowing, just recognizing when you are having an intuition for the good or for the bad. And you are knowing without rational thought. You haven't thought about it. You just are like, oh, this is a new thing that's coming at me. then write these down in your journal. And if you're just starting to listen to these episodes, I would strongly urge you to go back to the beginning and start learning about some of the other aspects of our mystic journey. And one of them was to start keeping a journal of your meditations, of your grid work, of all these things that we've been doing for, well, I guess now 21 weeks. Gosh, that seems like a long time. Anyway, so start writing these down in your journal. Start recording your dreams. A lot of times, intuition comes through in the form of dreams. Meditate and allow your intuitive mind to drift and then write down the ideas that come to you. Allow yourself to maybe practice stream of consciousness, which we will get to in another episode, but the idea of starting to write and then just letting the writing take on its own energy and create its own work. And you're just along for the ride. You are the person who holds the pen, or you are the person who is typing on the keyboard. And a lot of times I just let go and I just do these episodes with a lot of help from spirit. And I'm always surprised sometimes by what I've said, because some of these have been channeled through me. Channeling is a totally different thing. I don't lose rational thought in that. I just am aware that something is happening and they want me to communicate with you. Okay, that was a side note. But anyway, so you can record your dreams, you can meditate. All of these things help to strengthen your intuition. And intuition is very important to our survival on the planet. And right now, it's really good to know that there's some help there beyond our guides telling us and spirit and everything else. Just being able to trust our intuition, to learn to trust our own intuition. Next week, please join me for episode 22. Wow, 22, when we will look at the divine, feminine, and masculine energies as we continue our mystic journey. Thanks for listening to this episode of Mystic Musings. Please join me every week to continue our exploration of all things mystical that can help you have a more practical and magical life. Please visit my website, tobiehewitt.com, for more information and to read my blog postings. And join me also at pathwaystomindfulness.org to learn how you can schedule a presentation. I am available for mindfulness training, demonstrations of psychic abilities, and individual readings. I also have a number of books on mystical topics on Amazon.com. I look forward to hearing from you and answering your questions. Please contact me through TobieHewitt.com.